Howdy all, I am Adam Renaissance Nerd, and welcome back to Skeleton Crew Episode 2. Listen, now that I've seen both the premiere episodes, I can honestly say, this show isn't remotely Star Wars. There isn't Star Wars to be seen anywhere in this. And those who are running around saying the same exact thing, and by those I mean the stans, the shills, the fake fans, those who are running around saying, it takes us away on a wild adventure. Oh my God, I saw these 2 episodes, and I could see the glory and the wonder of what you can do in the Star Wars galaxy. Nothing's happened. There is people who say they are on an adventure after 2 episodes. What adventure are you on? Are you high? Have you run into a wall head first and are having delusions? Because that's what you must be, because nothing has happened in this show. This episode today was about 22 minutes worth of content. Your standard Disney Star Wars television fare. There's not even anything to really make fun of in this. There's just the obvious, very unavoidable fact. There is no Star Wars to be seen in this. So we're going to go through the episode. It's not going to take me very long, and then I'm going to review what has happened, or more accurately, what hasn't happened, and also how they're trying to trick you and how falsely the comparisons to other types of in-genre movies that have been made to this are. Okay, so we pick up exactly where we left off. The kids are going through hyperspace going, oh my God, it's hyperspace! Then they're stuck in the middle of nowhere when they come out of hyperspace. Then here comes Nick Frost droid, who's going to yell at them about, where's my captain? Where's my captain? I'm taking you to the captain. And then we get more Fern Girl Boss being Fern Girl Boss, and she quickly is becoming insufferable because she bosses everybody around. She's a liar. I didn't touch on this in the last review because I wanted to see if it would persist into this one. Fern is a liar. She tells lies to people in order to get what she wants and get through situations. Now, one could say, oh, Adam, that's how you cleverly get through a bad situation. No, up until this point, she's been lying to everybody when she isn't in a bad situation. Although now she lies to the droid and says, I killed your captain, in a very gruesome manner. Once more, I'm going to say, if this is a kid's show, to those who will say, why are you getting so angry at a kid's show? If this is a kid's show, then why is a child talking about gruesomely disemboweling another sentient being and taking over the ship? Even though it's a lie, that's how she describes it. She says, I gutted your captain and threw him into space. This isn't how it works in a kid's show. You don't talk like this. Anyway, so she does that, convinces Nick Frost droid that she's the captain, and then he wants to take them to get repairs on the ship, but they say, hey, let's just go home. So we go through this silly sequence, childish sequence of a droid showing how everything works really quickly, but then they can't still operate the ship, so they require the droid to take them to port so they can get directions to At-Aten. Now, I had missed what this planet was called in the last review. You can honestly forgive me for that because this show is boring crap. But At-Aten, whoever wrote this, you're an idiot. At, the childish way of saying AT-AT, because I'm sorry, that's the childish way of saying AT-AT, At-Aten. This is retarded. And this episode is now going to confirm what I figured out last time, that At-Aten is some sort of world that's been cut off from the rest of the galaxy, removed from star charts and all that kind of shit. We're going to quickly learn that it's a legendary treasure planet, when in fact we know it's just Socialism, the planet, where everybody has their role and does everything they're supposed to do for their great work. Once more I say, socialism on display from current day Hollywood. Wow, what a surprise. Anyway, it just dawned on me that Socialism, the planet, is your treasure planet. It's your ideal planet where wondrous things happen. Oh, wow, that just clicked for me. I hate today. I hate today so much. Right, so we're going to have a moment where Dad is running through the forest and a couple of droids find out that the ship has taken off. Great. So now back to the kids. Nick Frost droid is going to take them to this port, and we're going to get a look at everything. And I guarantee, if you turn this on, if you didn't see that there was any references to Star Wars terminology in this. This doesn't look like Star Wars because once again, Disney Star Wars has delivered ship designs that are boring, uninteresting, and not remotely Star Wars-ish at all. Whatever this ship is called, it isn't a Star Wars ship. None of these ships floating around important. Yes, you spot the pirate ship from the opening of last episode. You're blind if you didn't see it. None of this looks like Star Wars. You get on the station where now the kids are like, what are we going to do? Girl Boss Fern, she can tell everybody we have to stick together. We have to do this. We have to do what I say. She's actually carrying a blaster. Yes, she has a blaster. And while that's smart, it's still ridiculous later on when she tries to girl boss her way through the tough situation with it. Stick together, but of course, nobody wants to listen to her because they're kids. And you're going to say, Adam, isn't that a good thing? And I'm going to say no, because what we have here is difficult storytelling when you're using children as your protagonists. These are literal 10-year-olds, maybe 11-year-olds. What possible character growth can they go through at this point? They can't deal with adult situations and grow from them. All they can learn the lesson is, I love my parents, I love my home, and maybe I shouldn't be so wild and crazy. That's the limit of the character growth you're going to get from this. Because I can guarantee that might be the lesson Girl Boss Fern learns. That might be the lesson that floppy-haired Win learns. Little Lobot girl, she has no character. She's just nice and kind. And Neil, the sexual fetish that they're all obsessed over on social media, he has no character growth. He has no character. He's happy-go-lucky guy who is now afraid of everything because they're in an unknown situation. That's his character. There's nothing to these kids as their characters. Once again, we're talking about the fictional characters, not the actors, but the fictional characters. These fictional characters are boring and shallow. There's nothing to them. Anyway, so the kids are going to wander around. They're going to get separated, and the girls are going to be swept in by a friendly prostitute. Really? Really? It's a kids show, yet they walk in front of a brothel, and the friendly prostitute is going to want to help them. Give me a break. And of course, it's a rando alien that you've never seen in Star Wars before. That's fun. The boys are going to go and try to get lunch and quickly discover that their Old Republic credits are actually worth something. That kind of boggles my mind, especially when Disney Star Wars has already proven that non-current currency doesn't mean shit in certain areas. So Old Republic credits should be worthless, but no, they're treasure. They're treasure, and suddenly all the pirates want them. So the kids are going to get busted like that, and the pirates are going to start a fight. The boys are going to run away. At one point, you see Urkel. Hi, Urkel. Hi, Urkel. Wow, you've sunk so low. You run by Urkel, and then there's going to be a confrontation where Girl Boss Fern's going to pull her blaster on. She's going to shoot the blaster first into the air, and Brick is going to fall. Stone's going to fall to the ground. Ha ha. And then she's going to threaten the pirates with it. Shut up, leave me alone. Now, rightfully so, one of the pirates grabs it out of her hand. But the fact that she even does that, it's infuriating and insufferable because it's not endearing. Because she's a liar. She's a girl boss. She literally is a girl boss. She bosses the boys around. She constantly insults everybody around her except for Girl Lobot. And she has no respect for anything because she's been raised as a privileged girl. And she's just doing this because she was bored. Anywho. Then, Nick Frost droid's going to show up to rescue them. Leave my captain alone. And there's going to be a comical fight where they're all shooting at him and he creates shields with his arm and they're superheated from blocking blaster bolts and he burns a couple aliens and he fights and he fights and he saves them. And then I noticed something this time. Hear this. He has a peg leg. He has a peg leg. Why does a droid have a peg leg? This is not comical. This is retarded. And oh, I'm sorry. I forgot a whole moment when Neil and floppy hair Win are running around the ship. Pirate hats. Seriously, pirate hats. It's like, oh, look, he's just a little kid. He's having an adventure on the ship. He's feeling wondrous and surprised and excited about all these things. Once more, I'm going to use the same thing I said in the last review. It's as though somebody took Star Wars toys and doesn't know how to play Star Wars with them. This isn't Star Wars. This could be any generic, boring crap out there. All right? Anyway, Nick Frost droid is going to try and get them out of there, but then he's going to be shot from behind because I guess he could take blaster bolts from the front but can't take them from behind, ladies. Then here comes Urkel and Wolf Alien Dude. I know that's a traditional Star Wars alien, but I don't remember the name. And that's the only reason he's up front, because they're taking an alien from the original Cantina scene in New Hope and putting here saying, look, we respect Star Wars. No, they're not. It's simply member-berry bullshit to try and convince you that you're actually looking at real Star Wars, when in fact you are now neck deep in Disney Star Wars. Anyway, as I predicted last episode, they're going to take the kids into custody because everybody thinks they know the way to Atten. And they're going to throw them in the jail cell. And then you have a comical thing where the rodent alien that lives in Nick Frost droid's head, they try to convince it to get the keys to the cell, but it doesn't. And then they discover they're not alone in the cell. And oh, look, it's Jude Law without his helmet on, because you're an idiot if you don't realize that was Jude Law at the start of the first episode, and he's still held in captivity. It's obviously been a while since that happened. And then he's going to force yoink the keys, and of course floppy hair Finn's be like, oh my god, you're a Jedi. He goes, shh, can you keep a secret? And guess what? The episode's over. That's it. That's all that happened. So nothing happened. Kids arrive at station, wander around, get in trouble, act like morons, and get caught. There's your episode, filled with a lot of lame dialogue. Because at one point you hear Wynn go, oh man. You cannot insert modern day terminology, current day terms, colloquialisms that belong in regular life into science fiction and fantasy. Having anybody in Star Wars go, oh man, it doesn't work. Doesn't work. Just like none of this works. Look at this entire episode. There is not any Star Wars in it. And just because you have Jude Law force yoink the keys and you hear when he does it, I'm sorry, that doesn't equal Star Wars. This show is shallow, empty, and hollow. Now that I've described to you 2 episodes worth of what's happened, this isn't even Goonies in space. People are always saying, oh my God, it's Goonies in space. It's so good. It's such a lighthearted adventure. Nothing lighthearted had happened in this. No adventure has even occurred yet. They were on their home planet. They got in a ship and after their boring local social regular family life interplay and their bad banter, they get into space. Now they're in space, more bad banter, more poor writing, more shallow interactions, more non-character growth moments, and then they're on the pirate space station, and then they're locked up. And now here comes Jude Law to help rescue them, and then they're going to go on their adventure. For what? I don't know. To get back to Atten, because it's a treasure planet, but it isn't. The treasure is socialism. That's the treasure that they all want. That's the treasure that all Hollywood wants. Socialism is their treasure. Anyway, so there it is. This show is not anything special. In fact, it's shallow, it's empty, and it's massively boring, and it relies on the childish adult to convince themselves that they're watching something special. Everybody that went to the premiere or went to the theater where there were mostly empty seats to watch this came back on social media and said, I think I love this. Oh my God, it's so delightful. Oh my God, it's such a heartwarming child adventure. I'm drawn away. Nothing happened. You have convinced yourself because you're a Disney Star Wars stan that you just watched a Star Wars adventure, but nothing actually happened. You're idiots. And rumors have it, agenda will begin to creep into episode 3, which is what we're waiting for. We've gotten the boring, we've gotten the uninteresting, we've gotten the uneventful, and now here comes the rest of Disney Star Wars. Not only do they continue to butcher Star Wars lore, but now here comes agenda will start to creep in because they can't help themselves. So that's all I got for you guys. That's all I got. This is a show once again, I will say, where somebody took out some Star Wars toys, decided to play Star Wars, don't know how to do it. They try to tell you that it's done from a child's perspective. Oh, you're a child. This is how you dreamed of being in Star Wars. No, you know what people dreamed when you were the real Star Wars fans? What they dreamed of when they were kids? They dreamed of being Han, Luke, or Leia, or Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Padme. That's who they dreamed of being. They didn't dream of themselves as a kid flying around the galaxy. They dreamed of being their heroes and heroines. That's who they fantasized being as. Or being a Jedi, not a kid playing as a Jedi. That's the reality. That is not what fake fans understand, though. Fake fans think, oh my God, I'm a little kid again, because they are childish adults. Their mentality is locked into, yay, Star Wars, yay, because that is what Disney Star Wars has always been, yay. We are now witnessing what fake fans do when they're faced with reality. They have to convince themselves that they saw something that isn't there. There's nothing to this show. But we're going to keep going. We'll be back next week. I don't know what day. It's either going to be Tuesday or Wednesday. I don't know. With episode 3, the agenda creeps in. So until then, thank you for watching this review. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Until then, take it easy. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Check out my gaming channel at Renaissance Nerd Arcade, and follow me on X Twitter under @TheRedNerd. Thanks again for watching. Take it easy.